What up, though? And welcome back to growNman. It's your man, John D, in the building. Let me give a shout out to the universe. I promise the universe be working when the answers are always with you. You just got to hear it. Sometimes we be caught up in a distraction and we'll miss it. But I got here, I was trying to figure a way how I could discuss basketball related to life, because I love the game of basketball. I don't love it as much as I thought I did. When I realized how much effort it actually takes to get to the NBA and be successful there, I don't love it that much. I can't even lie. If I had to do it all over again and the information I know, I think I would have just did what I did, because the people who love the game, who plays the game up there, it's a dedication that is very difficult to make an analogy for your average person to truly understand. And I wanted to get on here and talk about how there's a lot of comments about people from the past, like they had part-time jobs and, plumbers. What's crazy is that to make those comments, and I'm going to be completely honest, I was like, that's right. Like, they can't be better than these players. There's no way. Like, why are we talking about it? They are not that good. But then I'm just listening, and then I ended up listening to Dominique Wilkins. He was just talking about how they never talked bad about the players before. They knew who they were, you know what I'm saying? But now there's a disconnect between, I don't know which generation, but it's like the younger generation are becoming more arrogant and not being humble. Like the recent words said by Anthony Edwards, shout out to him, because he's cold. But he was just like, they didn't have no skill. Michael Jordan was the only one with skill. I want to go all the way back to what J.J. Redick said. Like, they made the game where you guys got to play it for that much money. If they didn't have the love for the game and work, you wouldn't even probably like the game. Like, somebody had to watch it to say, you know what? I could be better than that. Or get to that level, because I'm telling you, to get to the NBA, that is a fraternity that I don't even think they can describe. They can describe like the dedication. And it's a lot of wear and tear on y'all bodies. But I said all that to say, young people have to, like, I'm an older man. We have to watch how we use our language. Just because we're young, that does not mean we can't use words that state your opinion without disrespecting somebody else. And if we feel like it's okay to disrespect people, like, it's soft out here, people ain't like, no, you can say things nice. Like, what's wrong with nice? I don't understand that part. Like, people act like because you grew up tough, or, you had a tough life, you could be mean to others. So everybody else just got to be like mean or tough like you. That's crazy. And I feel like the disconnect between whatever generation, where like, if you're so good at something that you can, not use the best use of language. Because I'm going to tell you this, at some point, he's going to mature if he hasn't already. And he's going to be like, hey, they did have jobs. Could I work and still, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's only so much they could do. They was taking care of families. Like Anthony Edwards is a young man. He's just enjoying the fruits of their labor. So, like, I really did, like I said, I did. I felt like J.J. Redick was right, but, could you have done it? And could you have, your skill set now, it translates there, but could you have gotten that good if you were working a part-time job, raising a family? Like, we have to really put things into consideration. Just because something sounds right and it makes sense doesn't mean you can't say it in a way where it's not disrespecting a group of people. It's almost like there's a bickering soap opera within the NBA. There's so many things in that, but that's one of the storylines. And it's like civil war amongst like some of the coldest skill set. Like you guys are different, but you guys are human too, So We just need to be able to use better language without offending others. And at some point, the shoe will be on the other foot for all of us. We will put our foot in our mouth if we haven't already done it. And if we don't move in a way where we can be open-minded in the way we speak, we're going to be upset a lot. Gonna disagree, get in arguments, unnecessary ones. But if we don't learn how to communicate, that's what's going to happen. So I will say to all the young people, coming from an older man, you don't have to respond to everything. And when you do, make sure it ages with time, because information will find and follow you. And if you're not thoughtful, and this is the thing, I don't want you to think that it's like the universe. I don't want you to think that it's going to come the way you think it's going to come. It's going to come in a way where it's going to make you think, dang, here it is. Something you can't prevent unless you practice better habits. Working on your communication will reduce a lot of misunderstandings. And if we don't take that part seriously, you're going to fail in so many different parts of your life. And this just is go to anybody. Just coming from a middle-aged man, learning ways to navigate now, try to give my kids, what would I have done if I'm you? I work on these areas, but communication is by far the key to you being able to go in and out of any circle you want. If you can communicate, that's your key. People just got to trust you and believe you. So your practices is what people know. And if you can't talk right, a door will shut or not even open because you don't care enough today. And that's crazy. People know you're immature, but when the opportunity is supposed to come, they don't even think that you'll be mature enough when that opportunity happens. So you already disqualified yourself unless you work on your communication. This life we play, it's a lot of games. You just got to figure out the best tools to navigate through all. How about this? And I'm going to leave on this. The NBA has found an outlet through communication that's giving their players who are no longer able to play due to health conditions or age, sports, and not supposed to last forever. Found is communication. Now say this, the better communicator you are, the less misunderstandings you have, the less arguments you have. And this is what's so crazy. All you have to do is ask 3 or 4 questions before you give your opinion, because most of the time you don't know enough information. So looking at the JJ Redick thing, even though it looked true, but if you look, it could have been said differently. And could you think like, could I have done that? You could have, in growing up in the 2000s, and you had the, family, you could just focus on sport, but could you have had a job and raising a family and been good? You know what I'm saying? Like you, through opinion, you were like one of the greatest role players, but I don't think that was your intent. I'm pretty sure you wanted a higher ceiling than that. So when I hear you speak, and like I said, I'm right with you. I was thinking the same thing, but you have to have a different tongue because you represent a cold fraternity. And if you don't protect her, you guys have this civil wars of all generations for no reason. Y'all should definitely communicate and get on the same page. But young people, you don't have to care right now, but it's going to be a time when you care. So most of the time people don't care when they're upset. But when you're not upset anymore, you're going to care again. So you can be unapologetically you, but you could be a better communicator unapologetically you, where you say things where people like, that made sense. You don't want people to think that you're not well spoken because you say whatever you want to say. And it's levels to that. Young man, practice on your communication. Your life will change. Anybody else listen, practice on your communication because your relationships change. Like you appreciate people in a different way. A lot of times I'm really leaving into this. I see different posts and people are always talking about what other people are doing. That's the craziest thing. How do you know what other people are doing? What are you doing? Like if you go to any social media outlet and just read through people's posts and they know what other people are doing. It's the craziest thing in the world. I don't even think they really realize that. Like, they're so caught up in what other people are thinking about them. You can't really be moving in a direction of greatness if you worry about what people are thinking about you. And your posts are a reflection of how you think. I pray that my words are received in a way where it can enlighten people to move differently. Because I'm telling you, as I've gotten older, I look back, I was an arrogant dummy, and I wish I could have done it differently. But I didn't have any guidance, not the guidance that I would like to have had. You know, I had the resources I had, but I didn't make the best decisions a lot of the times because for whatever reasons, I was still growing and adjusting. But now, communication to any and everybody. You don't have to care, but when you do, you wish you did. Y'all make today better than yesterday. Don't worry about anything you can't control. GATA. Get after that action, or the action will get after you. Be great on purpose. Go.